What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is the series where I cover all of the lines of sight, as well as any other secret spots that I know of on every map in CoD WW2. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the last of the base maps, and this is Aachen. So first up, let's start it off right in the middle of the map here with this tank right here. A lot of people didn't know that you can actually jump on top of this, because if you come up to it, there's no way to like mantle onto it, so most people don't even bother trying to get on top of it, but it's actually really simple. From over here, you can just jump on top of it, and this is a very powerful position if you have enemies that are spawning on that side of the map. You get an amazing line of sight into the bottom of the library there, you get a great line of sight over to that crate, over to the trolley, you can easily crouch to take cover from these positions, and you can even work your way around to take cover from people that are over there, and you can even see in towards the back of their spawn there. This is an amazing power position, but it really only works if they're spawning on that half of the map. Next up in the middle of the map, if you want to get a line of sight on people that are over there and you just happen to be in this area right here, this is actually something I use quite often. I just back up like this and you'll be able to see them right over top of the truck right there, and they usually don't expect you here. Now, one of the most common hotspots and power positions on this map is right here. You'll almost always have people fighting for this position because it gives you a decent overlook over here, and if you're crouched, you can challenge a lot of people there. It's one of the best places to be if the enemies are spawning on that half of the map, especially in like domination where you're trying to defend the B flag. A very easy way to take them out is actually through this window or this window right here. You actually don't lose any bullet damage at all shooting through those particular areas. Even without FMJ, you just spray through there, easy kills every single time, and you'll often get free kills basically every time you play this match if you're aware of those windows. Now getting over to this area here, if you get into the elevator, you actually get a bit of a line of sight over towards the B flag, kind of. You don't get an actual line of sight like onto the B flag area too well, but sometimes as I'm hopping up here and if I expect enemies to be coming through there, I just use this as a quick check. If I happen to see somebody, I'll pick off a couple shots and maybe even finish off a kill, and it's just a little bit better than jumping up here completely blind. Now getting into these sandbags right here, there's a very common spot to be sitting, and you're often going to be challenging people on those sandbags over there. A great way to challenge them if you have something that's really accurate is to simply crouch and look through this crack right here. You'll actually be able to pick them off through this crack. They'll have no clue what hit them, and you have much better cover than just standing out in the open. Now, if you happen to have enemies that are on those sandbags right there, let's just say you're coming off spawn, this works great with a sniper rifle especially, or something that's accurate. If you come up this way and you jump up right here, you can actually see those sandbags right through there and you can pick those people off. It's not a super common place for people to sit, but if you happen to be jumping up here anyways, just use it as a check spot and make sure there's nobody there, and if there is, it's usually a free kill. Now getting into the library over here, let's just say you pushed up to the library, your enemies are still spawning on this side of the map though, and you just want to kind of lock it down. One of the positions I often rotate to, I don't just camp here, but I rotate to this position, is I come up the stairs and I can look towards the sandbags right there. They usually don't look up here, or at least it's not the first place they check, and you'll often take them off guard. Like I said, I wouldn't sit up here for too long though, because if they come through that way, you're pretty much just going to be dead. Another thing you can do from up here, this is a bit of a wallbang spot, and this more so relies on like an LMG with FMJ. It is situation specific, and it really only works for domination. B domination flag is right there. You can actually spray right through that wall and pick people off through there. It's kind of surprising that you can shoot through that whole wall and not lose a ton of bullet damage, but keep in mind, like I said, you will want to use an LMG with FMJ. That's really the only realistic chance you're going to have at getting a kill through there. Now these trolleys right here, there's one on both sides of the map. I don't really have too many great lines of sight to these, unfortunately, because they are the common sniper spots. But one thing I wanted to point out that I'm a little embarrassed to admit I didn't know you could do is you can actually jump through these windows. It doesn't really look like it would work realistically just because it's so small and it's kind of high up, but you can jump into the trolley this way. And just in case you didn't know it, I wanted to point that out for you guys. Now getting back into this corner of the map here, let's just say somebody kills you in the library, they're pushed up in the library, probably up to those sandbags right there because it's a power position, and you're still spawning back in this area here. A great way to challenge those people on the sandbags or to use it as a check spot is to simply come up to this sign right here, and that gives you a much better angle than running out in the open or just challenging them from basically any other direction here. Now getting over to the A domination side of the map, right by the A flag right here, sometimes you get enemies that are camped up right there. Great way to challenge them is through this crack right here. You can easily just see their legs and you're pretty much invisible to them at this point. Another spot I wanted to point out for you guys is to capture the people that are going to be on the top of the stairs right there at that broken wall. Great way to challenge them with a sniper rifle especially. If you're coming off spawn here, is you can come right into this corner here and just go prone right around there. From here, you can easily pick those guys off, and they're usually not looking this far back. At most, they're going to be looking as far back as this trolley right here. Now, if you happen to be pushing over towards the A spawns there, and you expect enemies to be over there and maybe behind the sandbags right here, and you manage to make it up to this truck, a great way to challenge them instead of coming all the way around the corner is simply to crouch and have a peek through here. You might be able to pick off a kill before you move on and come around that corner. Now, this one is pretty situation specific, but if you have enemies in that area right there and you happen to be at these sandbags, you can jump up on the sandbags right here and then just jump up to the corner of this sandbag like that. From this position, you can look over top of this crack right here and pick those people off. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Maps Exposed. Like I said, this is the final episode for the base maps in this game. If you guys have missed any of the previous episodes, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. Also, keep in mind, I will be continuing this series once we start getting DLC, which is actually coming at the end of this month. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.